So before we even jump into this video, I have 3 very important disclaimers that I would like to note. Number 1, I am not a financial expert or professional. I just apply my own academic background to my small business. Number 2, this isn't a business class, this isn't a lecture, I am just sharing my experience. I am not here to teach, but to share my experience. And number 3, this is not a long-term solution to your business management or financial management. This is just how I handle my very small scale business at the moment, and it's only been like a year, so this is not a long-term solution, it's just how I'm currently doing it and how I've been doing it for the past year. Okay, now that my little disclaimer is out of the way, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. The finance video is finally here. I'm going to be showing you or talking you through and showing you how I manage my small press-on nail business finances, basically from start to finish, from when I get my receipts to putting them onto my Excel spreadsheet, and just overall why I do this and how it has personally helped me and my business. So first, I'm just going to talk a little bit about why financial management is important, even if it's just a small business. So every 2 to 3 months, I set time aside to do my financial statements, to update my business records, and to overall paint a picture for myself where my business is at currently. So for me, honestly, my personal financial records is what has kept my business going, because without it, I wouldn't have the motivation to keep going, to see when I was breaking even, to see when I was making a profit. Like, all of those little numbers is what has kept me going till this day, because every now and then I would see the growth. Like, I wouldn't feel the growth if I'm just like, things are moving slow and everything, but when I go to my financial records, I see a completely different picture. I see that like my profits are increasing, I see that my costs are going down, I see that my business is starting to pay for itself, and those are the things that personally keep me going and keep me motivated. So I would say it's no use having a business without having any financial direction or just knowing where your business is going. You kind of be doing things just as and when you feel like it's right, as opposed to when it actually is right to take certain steps for your business. Like, overall, managing your business finance, no matter how small your business is, gives you a sense of control over your business, and you know exactly where your money is going, because at the end of the day, this is your investment, so you need to know where it's going and when that money is coming back to you. And of course, if you're thinking of taking your business from a small business to something quite big long term, these numbers will come in handy, especially like for tax purposes, or whenever official authorities may need your financial information or your business information, you have that ready to go. So the first step I took in the beginning when I started my press-on nail business was separating my business bank account from my personal bank account. So I actually had 3 bank accounts. Like, I had my Monzo, my personal current account, and my student account. So after graduating, I had no use for my student account, so I used that as my business account. So everything that is for my business, everything that's for investing in my business, I switched over to that account, and I separated my personal from my business. Now, in the beginning, of course, your investment is going to come from your personal account, or I don't know, if you may have a sponsor or someone lending you the money, it's going to come from somewhere else rather than your business, because your business isn't really making profits just yet. But whatever money you have for your investment, just switch that over to your business account. Or if you don't have a business account just yet, then at least note down every transaction that's related to your business, from your investment to your income to your expenses, everything that's related to your business. Just note it down so that when you do have a business bank account, you know everything that is to do with your business and not your personal. So if you find that you really can't get a separate business bank account, so you can just do it manually. I'll insert a clip of my cash flow statement like template that I don't use it, but like I know I should start using it. But you could use that for the meantime until you get a bank account, because at least then, even if you don't have a bank account, you still know what your separate business information and transactions are, because that is very important. You need to know that everything happening within your business is really happening within your business and not your personal. Okay, so here I want to show you an example of my cash flow statements. I haven't fully done mine yet, but I just want to show you if you were interested. So with my cash flow, I just have the months at the top, the total at the sides, inflows, outflows, net cash flow, and a last updated section where I will obviously put in the date as to when I last updated the cash flow. But yeah, this is basically it. So the ultimate purpose or the ultimate goal of separating your business and personal bank accounts is to have your business reach a point where it's completely financing itself, because then at least then you will know that your business is a success and it's paid for itself. You've got your return on your investments and it can only grow from there on. So for example, I've now reached a point where my press-on nail business pays for itself completely. I no longer dip into my own personal account. Everything that I buy for my business comes from my business. If it has to come from me, it means my business cannot afford it. And if I was to ever find myself dipping into my own personal account for my business, then that just automatically tells me that something is wrong and I need to look further into my expenses or my revenue or whatever it may be. Something is not right if at this point my business is not financing itself. Okay, number 3, getting my source documents. Now, if you don't know, or if you're not really new to the business world, source documents just mean the original receipts, the original invoices, the original place that you got your financial information from. So for me, as you may already know, whenever I post an order, I get a receipt and a proof of postage from the post office, and that is my source document for my shipping costs. And then of course, I'm always buying supplies from Amazon or eBay, or just paying my website charges every single month. So I always note down where I'm buying things from, so that when I need to go back to my invoices, I know exactly where to go and what I bought from there and what to put into my Excel spreadsheet. So for my purchases / expenses, I obviously buy a lot of things from Amazon. So this was one of the last things I bought from Amazon. And I will go into each of these. So this is £7.15, £6. I will go into these, look at how much it cost, whether there was postage and packaging, and just get the overall total cost and put that into my expenses section of my Excel spreadsheets. And then for my sales and revenue information, I get that from my website. Obviously, I sell on my website and I sell on Etsy. To get my sales or revenue, I go into my email, type in Etsy support or type in my Wix website, and they normally send me emails of the totals that I received. So for example, this £149 I will put into my revenue section in my Excel spreadsheet. And it's the exact same way for my website. I just type in Wix payments because I made my website on Wix, and they just normally send me updates as to what is going into my account. I'll take this number and also add it to my Excel spreadsheet. Every now and then, Wix and Etsy will email me the totals that I'm receiving into my bank account, and the total amount that they email me is without the transaction costs and without the sales tax. So I just get the total amount that is owed to me and my business. Okay, this is the part you guys have been waiting for: organizing my receipts. So as you guys know, in my how I started my press-on nail business, I showed you my completed receipts in the 2 folders. So I've actually filmed a short clip of how I organize those, from the receipts to putting them into the folders to putting them into my financial statements. So I will let that play right now. I'm going to be showing you how I sort all of these. Okay, so obviously I keep my certificates of postage and my actual receipts in separate folders. Okay, so today I'm going to be sorting out the June 2021 receipts and certificates of postage. So yeah, as you can see, it's blank and I need to put in my receipts. Now obviously I've already done the May and June, but I'm just going to quickly show you that it's literally just a Sharpie and some plain paper, and I'm just going to write in the headings. July. So this is what I will use for July and August 2021. So the first thing I do is separate the certificates of posting and the receipts. So I will compile one pile of receipts, one pile of certificates of postage, and keep those separate for the 2 separate folders. I've separated the 2. Here are the certificates of postage, and I just had to lay this on top like this to hide people's addresses because obviously that's private information. And then here I just have the receipts with the total amount spent on shipping costs. Once I've separated them, I'm going to focus on the receipts first. So I just look at the dates and I will organize them by date. So I'll look at all the June ones and I will place the earliest date down like this. So this is the 5th. I mean, I could have others that could say the 1st of June, but I will place the first date of the month on there, and then I will pile on top of that the next dates and the next and the next and the next until the end of the month, and I will highlight those and staple it. This says the 5th of June and I will circle that, and the total cost that I'm going to put in my Excel spreadsheet is £9.60. 65, and this is calculated for just everything that I spent. And just to make it easier for myself, I will highlight that. Okay, so there we are. I have highlighted the date and the amount, and that is all the information I need from my receipts. So now I have organized all my June receipts. So I'm just going to take a stapler and staple these together. And there we are, nice and organized. So as you can see, this is the latest date. That was my last sale of June on the 28th. And it just goes all the way back. Okay, so going back to our original paper situation here, I can now staple this onto this. Okay, so instead of me trying to hide my post office address for privacy reasons, I've just added on some sticky tape on there. But I just wanted to show you the finished products because I've stapled it on. So yeah, guys, it's really as simple as that. That is how I organize my receipts once I get them. Obviously, as you can tell, I only do this like every 2 months. So I stack them up so that when I do it, I can get it over and done with in one sitting. And of course, once it's done, it will go into my receipts folder. Okay, so now that I've done all my receipts, they are ready to be put into my Excel spreadsheet. So obviously I will talk through this in a bit more detail. I'll screen record and show you everything. Here I have it month by month. So in June 2021, I will add my receipts. So I'm going to add each receipt total, and I'm going to quickly show you how I do that. So obviously we have organized them into chronological order. So the last receipt on the top. So I'm going to turn it and go to the first receipt, which is £1.29 total. Okay, so here I will simply add £1.29, and then I will also add the next receipt, £9.65. So £9.65. Don't forget to put your equal sign. So there we are, and it calculates it for me. As you can see, I can basically just add the rest of my receipts in here and it will give me my total for June. Okay, so for those of you who are interested, I'm just going to give you a brief overview of my financial statements. It's pretty simple. I mean, if you're not new to accounts, this might look a bit confusing, but if you are familiar with it, you'll know that this looks pretty basic. So starting off here, this is what I originally had, just this by itself. It's just a basic income statement. So I have revenues, sales, cost of sales, expenses, and then at the bottom I have my net profit or net loss. And then I just have this little note section here so I can always keep tabs of when I last updated it. And the reason I have it for 6 months is because honestly, I didn't think I would go longer than 6 months. So yeah, it's just a 6 months template. And then here I have another 6 months because I carried on. And then I have the total. So if I scroll down, you can just see some workings. So like working 1, working 2, working 3, working 4, and these workings are for these. So my cost of sales, working 1, working 2, working 3, working 4. So I basically have all my workings underneath. So for my cost of goods sold, I just have everything that I use for my press-on nail business in terms of like making the nails, foils, nail polishes, stickers, all of that. This shipping charges I don't really use anymore, but obviously Amazon charges for shipping. The stickers charge for shipping. Wherever I buy from charges for shipping. So yeah, I have that. For marketing and advertising, obviously I used to send to influencers. I used to do paid advertisements, so I have all of that on there. And then the distribution costs are the postage, the receipts that I've just shown you. And then for the nail equipment, these are the stuff I don't really need to buy that often. So the lamp, the tools, the drill, all of that I don't really need to buy on a regular basis, so they're separate. And then the other statement for the next 6 months is basically exactly the same. I just separated the different years. So this is January to June 2021. And at the bottom, I have the same thing. Everything that I bought during the year, I have added it on as a working. Oh, and by the way, these are all like interlinked. So I'm not going to go into too much detail as to how I did all the formulas. But yes, they are all linked and the cells are self-calculating, I think, is that what you can call it? Okay, so moving on from the other 6 months, we have the total column. So the total 12 months from when I started to now is basically the exact same thing, except these are linked to add. So the sales from this and this are linked to the total column here. And that goes for all of these as well. They are all just, they have their own formulas. So yeah, guys, that was a brief overview of my financial statements. Obviously, I didn't put in my values because those are private, but I hope this was helpful to just see how I personally do it. You don't have to follow how I do it because everyone's accounting is completely different. Wow, okay, I'm very well aware that that might have been a lot of brand new confusing information if you're not new to the accounting world, but I'll link below 2 accounting/bookkeeping videos specifically for small businesses that help to explain things better, because even though I am sharing my experience, I'm not here to teach or to lecture you. As I said before, this isn't a business class. I'm just sharing what I do for my business and my personal experience. If you are interested in delving a little bit deeper into the details of accounting, then I do recommend you check those out because they explain things way more better than I ever could. So at this point, you might be wondering, what do I do with all this information? Like, is this really necessary? Am I being over the top? And maybe I am. No, it's not over the top. Like, this information has actually been super helpful to me. As I mentioned before, it's helped me keep motivated. I now know the value of my business in numerical numbers. If I was to ever sell my business or someone wanted to invest in me, like, I have numbers to prove the worth of my business. And at the end of the day, I didn't invest in my business for nothing. I wanted to see it through to the end or until it broke even or made a profit. Like, I told myself, I'm not gonna stop until I either break even or make a profit, because this investment has not been for nothing. So keeping up to date and keeping track of my financials has really helped me know where exactly my business stands. I now know because I have proof that my business is a success, because I took it from a negative, so the negative investment, to a positive. I make profits, my business pays for itself, and I know that because I have the proof from my numbers. So that brings me to the end of the video, guys. I really hope it was helpful or just insightful into the business side of my press-on nail business, or maybe it gave you some tips as to how to manage your business. And remember, I'm not saying you have to do these things. These are just things that I've done, and I know a few people have asked me and were interested in knowing my process behind it. But if you are considering taking your business finance more seriously, I would definitely recommend it. You will see growth in your business in places you didn't expect, and it will keep you motivated just wanting to see those numbers get better and better over time as your business grows. So yeah, guys, if you do have a press-on nail business or a small business in general, as always, I wish you all the best and all the success with it. That is all from me today. I will see you in my next video. Bye.